What's up, guys? We are resellers over on eBay. That is pretty much our full-time job at the moment. This week, we're just going to go over today our weekly sales, some of the things that we've bought over the last week, and also some tips and tricks in how we got our started ourselves and how much we've grown and learned, and kind of some of insights that we've learned along the way.
And since July, so about 5 months now, we have sold about 250 items for almost a total of $7,000 in sales. I think about $3,500, $4,000, give or take, in profit back to us. I think we're doing okay. There's things that we learned along the way. There's mistakes that we made that we're going to let you guys know. And there's things that we've done that ended up hurting us, and we know exactly what we did and how to fix it. We're going to let you guys know. But first, we'll get into some of the things that sold this week.
Yeah, so this week it's really weird to say this, but this week was one of our slower weeks. We only made about $258 this week net sales. So that's after fees and everything. Before fees, it was almost $400. And we only had about a 9 item sell in total, which is showing me a negative 50%. So we normally sell 18 items a week, give or take. So this is definitely a slower week for us. I have kind of chalked that up to Black Friday coming up. People are saving. The first thing that I want to talk about here is something that I picked up last week. It was $8.50. Picked it up over at Goodwill, and it was a radar detector, a Cobra Elite Series radar detector. Net sales after fees, taxes, shipping, all of that, we made $118.22, so about $110 after cost of goods.
Yes, which is pretty good. We find almost all of our items at Goodwill where we live. Winter visitors have finally come back for us. It's cooled off enough where people are starting to have their yard sales and stuff. My mother actually went to a yard sale over the last weekend, to an estate sale and everything, and bought a bunch of stuff that she's going to give us to hopefully turn around and be able to sell. I don't know what she got yet. I know there's a lot of leather stuff, a lot of glassware and everything, but it is nice to see the winter visitors coming back, as it's too hot here, and the people that do live here year round and do usually garage sales on the weekends, they're also resellers. So go into their place, they're wanting the same price that you would get on eBay. They're just trying to cut out that middleman. So it has been nice, but 95% of our inventory has come from Goodwill. When we started with literally $0. We worked our way selling all of my old video games and such, and we were able to turn around and start paying our bills again. And we were able to reinvest that into a total of $6,000 or $7,000 worth of inventory that we have listed, about 300 items, and we still have about 50 things at least that are slowly going up in 6 months. I don't think that's bad. We didn't do a lot of shopping in October because we had so much inventory. We did have to separate our Pokemon business that we started at the same time, doing the same thing, selling all of the Pokemon cards we had, opening them and everything. You can see that channel. We have it in the description below, but we pretty much started with zero with that. Now we have a couple $1,000s worth of inventory for that as well, but we're turning that around, and we had to take 120 listings of cards off of eBay. Pretty much did that all at once, which hurt us for about a week or two. So we're getting back up with eBay. We've made more money in the first 2 weeks of November than all of October combined. But yes, we do end up making money from eBay, TCG Player, Facebook Marketplace, and everything.
Yes, and when we say we started from zero, I mean bottom of the barrel, absolutely nothing. So if you're kind of in that situation, trust me, you can do it too. Start easy. Start with the stuff around the house. Guaranteed you are holding on to something that is worth money that you do not need anymore, that you could benefit more from. So we started off selling his video games, and then TCG Player was starting off cards. So we split it equally, and whatever we made from our Pokemon business, we reinvested right back into our Pokemon business. And same thing for our reselling business. Whatever we made got reinvested into reselling. So everything that we've kind of worked our way toward now is what we've taken and just reinvested, reinvested.
Yes, we started with nothing. We already have a printer, which most people do. We had some tape, old boxes from like Amazon, or just cereal boxes, something that we were able to put something in to be able to send off, because when you first start on eBay, it does take until the item is delivered to the buyer's house and saying that it's been delivered in order for you to actually be able to take that money out. So at the beginning it was kind of stressful, first 2 weeks where they'll be telling us that we made about $200, but we couldn't touch it, so we couldn't buy anything. We had to basically use what we had around, and we made it work. I think it was after about 14 sales, about 2-3 weeks in, we were taken off. So after now 48 hours, the money is available for us. We ship everything out with usually next day after 2 p.m. where we live. It either goes out that day or the following day, but we have it set up for 2 days just in case. There have been a couple of times where we're like, hey, we need to go buy an extra big box, and we have to wait for the money to come in so we can actually go buy the box to be able to ship it. And you don't have to offer free shipping. We have never offered free shipping on anything we have. It's always either been buyer pays the shipping, or we've done a flat rate for items that we learned how much it's going to cost the furthest distance away from us.
So the next item that we have here is the TI-84 Plus graphing calculator. We picked that one up. I don't know the exact price. It was probably $250. We usually get these calculators, any of the graphing calculators, TI-84, 83.
For less than $5.
Yeah, for less than $5, usually anywhere between $150 and about $450 is the highest. And that one sold after fees, taxes, shipping, all of that. We got a net profit of $47.10. Whenever we go to Goodwill, we usually have our specific sections that we hit up. We go to the calculator section. We go to vacuum cleaner section. We go to the cookware, like where they have all of the blenders, things like that. We go to the board games just to see if there's anything there, and then toys. Those are usually like the hot spots that we end up going. That's at least the way that I do it. That's how I go in. I go, well, actually, I do vacuum cleaners first.
Yes,
vacuum cleaners.
Just because you go there and you see stuff doesn't mean that it's going to sell. I would say about 90% of the stuff at Goodwill, at least for where we live, is priced close to what you would make, or it's not worth picking up because you would be making pennies after all the fees and everything come out. You kind of have to find the diamond hiding in there. So
Yes.
we will go to Goodwill several times. Sometimes we walk out with 20 different things. Sometimes we walk out with nothing.
Check out your sold/completed comps. Do not check out, just don't type in an item and show it up, because sometimes you're going to have people trying to sell a $30 item for $55 when it's really only $30 or $25. So I can show you guys here. I'll probably include a clip, but I can show you how to check your sold/completed items. Go there, check out your comps through that way.
Yes, and check out whether or not they're offering free shipping or not. Because some people, they might offer something for $30 with free shipping. And if you're trying to sell it for $30 and you want the buyer to pay, let's say $8 in shipping for the piece, you're most likely not going to get the sale as quickly, only because if they can have free shipping for the same price you're selling, they're probably going to choose the other person. And how people end up doing free shipping is they usually build it into the price, so which means they have to still pay that $8 for the person for shipping. So instead of making that $30, they're making closer to 20. So if you don't want to have to worry about the shipping at all coming out of you, if you don't want to take the chance of having to pay more, set it up for the buyer to pay the calculated shipping and just price it down a little bit less. Even pricing it down to like $25, you might get the sale much easier versus setting it for $30, because they're going to choose the free shipping. Don't set it too low though, because if you set it for $15, you're probably going to get the sale, but you're going to earn less. You gotta figure out the right balance.
Probably get the sale too, because if you have to think as a buyer yourself, and whenever I think as a buyer myself, if I go on Amazon and I'm searching through and I see two of the same products and one is like $10 and the rest of them are going for about $30, I will generally go for the one going for about $30, simply because in my experience, if they are selling something for cheaper, there is a reason why they are selling it for cheaper.
Yeah,
so you want to be careful. You don't want to go too cheap.
You want to price it competitively. You don't want to be the cheapest. You don't want to be the highest. You want to be right there in the middle or about even. If you think that it's supposed to sell within a couple days after checking the comps and it's still there 2 months later, I would go and double check, make sure everything's listed right. Maybe the price is wrong or something with the shipping, something's driving them away. but stuff will sell at some point. There is inventory that we had from the very beginning when we weren't really understanding what we were doing. We were just going and being like, this is cool, and buying it. And here it is 4 months later, some of those things are selling. Like I picked up a remote a long time ago for a fan. It ended up selling just the other day for $20. I picked it up for $1. Had no idea about any of it, but yeah, it was able to sell. Or like right here this week, we listed a Furby that I ended up picking up for $1 over at Goodwill. It worked too well. The entire time I was trying to list it and take pictures, it was yelling at me and talking to me. But it's something that sells for about $25 from what I was looking up. But I don't want to pay the shipping, so I put it up for $20. It's gotten some views and everything, some interest. Hasn't sold yet, but it's also only been listed for 2 days.
I was gonna say, yeah, you just listed that.
Yes, but I've had it sitting around for a while because I didn't want to plug it in and see if it worked because I knew it was going to annoy me. And sure enough, it did. It was yelling at me the whole time.
Okay, so the next thing that I ended up selling, it was a Tumi men's nylon crossbody bag. It was actually a pretty cool bag, really good condition. I want to say it was like $8. I think I paid up for it a little bit. No, I think it was $6.50.
I don't
I don't
remember.
remember. I also bought it with a Christian Dior little travel bag as well. So I bought it for like $6, I'll say. Selling cost, shipping, all of that, we netted $25.34 from that little bag, which I think was pretty good. So as we've kind of gotten better and we're understanding more of the products that sell, we understand how to correctly check the comps. We understand to look for shipping, free shipping, all of that stuff. We are getting better at finding items that we know will sell for quicker. Like we'll be talking about it and be like, oh, we don't have too much, but we need to stop at Goodwill. And we'll just say like, okay, we're just gonna go in there. We're gonna go for those few items that we know are going to sell and we know are going to sell quick. And if we don't find anything, tough cookies. But
Yes, and thankfully they have. One of the things that we've learned and some other YouTubers have talked about is listing daily. It doesn't have to be 100 items a day or 10 items, whatever you are comfortable with keeping up. At the beginning, when we had all of my old video games and Pokemon cards, within the first 2 weeks, we had a total of like 70 items listed. By the end of August, we had already crossed over that 250 item limit that they give you for free. So we upgraded to a store subscription for it, which was nice. There's some extra tools and everything, but right now we're sitting at about 3 items with about 50 still waiting to list, and we list at least one item a day. We aim for five, but sometimes it's just a lot of work to get to with all of the kids and everything else going on. But we list at least one item a day. And the days that we end up listing more, there are some days where we might list like 10 or 15 within a few hours, whether it's a coincidence or not. Usually we'll end up getting 3 or 4 sales along with several offers and stuff because eBay pushes you out. You listing every single day for something, at least encourage it to remind eBay that you're alive, your store is well, you didn't fall off a cliff. They enjoy seeing your activity and you being active on there.
yeah, I think the idea behind it is if you're active and you're getting stuff, you're putting orders in and or you're, adding listings and stuff, eBay knows that if someone buys from you, they're going to get sent their stuff. I think that's kind of the reason why eBay does it that way. But yes, the biggest thing that I've noticed is when we list stuff is usually sales usually come in within the next few hours. So we always try to get at least one thing up a day. And if we don't get, if we're just struggling for a couple of days, we will usually make up for it and just do like a really quick post of as many as we possibly can.
Yes, we always try to have about 5 things just sitting in the drafts because there have been times where we're sitting on the couch, it's 10 o'clock at night, and we're like, oh, we have to go list something, but we're tired. We don't want to wake up the kids making all that extra noise and everything, and we can list a couple things and move on. For us personally, most of our listings usually or our items usually sell on the weekends or in the middle of the night. It's good. It's nice to wake up to in the morning. I mean, unless it goes off and wakes up the baby, and next thing you know, it was for a $4 sock. There have been a couple times where we woke up in the morning and we're like, oh, look, there's like 3 or 4 sales. We got to go box them up and everything. Oh, did they respond?
Yes, it's so funny as we're talking about this. We actually just posted something, what, maybe 2 hours ago? We just posted one thing today, but
About an hour ago.
about an hour ago. And yeah, so we're getting offers right now for something that we're going back and forth, counter offers. That's another thing, is we always turn offers on. We have offers put on. I don't know if you guys do. I don't. You can let me know your thoughts on that in the comments, but we do turn offers on. We think it's amazing. Let me know if it works for you guys. I enjoy it because we have made quite a few sales from offers.
Yes, and there's some things that we'll have that are sitting there for 2 months that we paid $3 for like a $30 item, and somebody offers $25. I don't know about you. I'm not going to complain, even though it's $5 less. Sometimes even 10 if it's just been sitting there and it's had no interest. I
Mm-hmm.
know there's sometimes like remotes that we have that, there's a million people trying to sell the remotes, because at the beginning we bought a ton of remotes, and
Yeah.
they might be like, hey, I can buy this for $6 instead of the 12 you have it up for. That remote's gone. It's out of our inventory. We might have only made a couple dollars on it, but that's $6 that we're getting now 3 months later, which is always nice. Or
Mm-hmm.
like somebody's been sending us offers for a camera that we picked up a while ago, which I'm surprised it hasn't sold. We actually have it priced down a little bit lower than the rest because the lens opening and closing, it needs a little extra help. It works perfectly fine,
Mm-hmm.
but it's been sitting there for 2 months, and we're hoping that it actually sells.
Yeah, we're kind of going back and forth with someone right now, but
Another thing that we end up doing periodically on like the weekends and stuff is that we'll run a sale usually Friday until like Monday morning, like sometime early in the morning, like 2 a.m. for items that have been just sitting in the store. We usually do like 10 to 30%, give or take what we want to do, for items that have been in the store for 15 days to the beginning, 30 days, however long they've been sitting there, to try to get them out, because it'd be better to bring the money in now to us than it would be just to have them sit around for another 3 months. If you can sell something for 30% off and get $60 now to turn around into $600, would you take it? Because I know I would.
yeah. And that brings me into another thing that, sorry, you just mentioning would you do so much. That brings me into another thing, is promoting. I know that it's a very controversial subject. Some people don't like promoting, some people do. My suggestion, what we've done, what where they just took it. What we've done, what works for us is 2%. 2% works great. And the way that we look at it is, if you have $100 item, and is it worth the $2 to get it sold quicker? And to us, yeah, that's definitely worth it. We want to get the stuff in and out of we want to get it in and out as quickly as we can so that we can keep turning that money around and making more and more and more. Because just like this camera that just sold, now we have $60 to go make more money. Now if we can go find three more of those cameras, okay, well, now we have $190, $80 or whatever.
Yep, and that's if there's the same price, you still have another $30, $40 left to spare.
Yeah, so
And yes, the promoting, I get that it can be confusing at times. If you promote it at whatever percentage you promote it, that's the amount that eBay is gonna take, and they only take that amount if somebody clicks on the promoted listing and buys it from there.
yes, and eBay takes, no one truly knows what the algorithm is. We can make guesses. Everyone can make guesses. You've probably seen tons of videos of people explaining it and stuff. You can guess what the algorithm might be just based on what happens, but eBay takes into account, it's not like they're only taking into how much you promote. They're taking into everything whenever pushing out your items. Just like I mentioned, if you're listing, hey, guess what? It's going to show you're active, your stuff's going to get pushed out. If you're promoting, your stuff is going to get pushed out.
If you're handling all of the situations we've had, I
If
want
you're
to
a
say,
top rated seller, yeah, you're going to get pushed out more.
yes, which if we've had, I think, about 5 instances in our entire 5 months so far, something wrong with an order, a buyer's complaint. Three of them were due to shipping. Their packages got lost in the mail. Two of them have not then arrived, and it was at the very beginning. We ended up just refunding the buyer and everything. And as far as UPS has told us, they have no idea where the packages are, and we've just left it. Thankfully, they were only a few dollars, and we just bit the bullet on there. There was one where the person ended up buying two different items from us, and they were a repeat buyer, and one of the items ended up getting lost along the way. We refunded them just because we were like, hey, we're sorry. And this was still at the beginning. We didn't realize that if it gets lost during shipping, it's not really our problem. It's something with USPS or FedEx or whatever. It's out of our hands. We can't control it getting shipped there. But the item did arrive to the person like a month later. And thankfully, again, it was like a $10 game. And I just said, oh, well, that person got a $10 game. But they came back and they bought more things from us. So that was at least nice.
Yes, I thought you were going. I thought you were going to talk about the
Oh, yeah, I was getting to. There was one person who ended up buying an item from us and then said an entire day later that they received their package cut open, like the top of the bubble mail that we had was just cut off and the item was taken out. And that's how they received it. They put in for a return and everything. We contacted eBay and they told us what to do. And pretty much since the item was delivered, which I don't know from our experience, nothing ended up coming out of it. Like I showed that it was delivered. eBay never punished us for it. Well, they might have for like that week that we were waiting for them to
they
go.
said they said that they held our finances, and then we got this thing and they were like, good job, your funds are now like not
Yeah,
held anymore, and we were
there
so
was
good.
never any funds being held. I don't know where any of that came from, but it happened to be over a 4 day weekend. I don't remember what that weekend was in October. We actually had a week where there was the return request waiting, but eBay does it by business days. So we pretty much had a week to wait for eBay to step in and handle it, which I don't know if they refunded the person. I don't know what happened.
Well, he set up an item not received case, and which if anyone ever sets up an item not received case, don't panic. Literally, just all they ask for is the shipping number. So you'll have to put the tracking number back in. Put the tracking number back in, and if it says that it was delivered, that's it. eBay will count it as delivered, and that's it.
Yes, if
You
you're
win. You win that thing as long as you just put it tracking in there and it says that it was delivered. You're done. So that's what we did. We put the
yes,
tracking in and it said it
it
was delivered and
it
case was
just
closed. It was
it just went away. I don't know what essentially happened. I'm assuming the case closed. Never heard a response from the guy. He at the same time tried leaving us a negative review or a neutral review, basically
neutral.
complaining about it. That disappeared at the same time too. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
hoping eBay took care of that, but I don't believe that any of the mailing places, unless you're using like some third party person to mail it, like Joe down the road on his bicycle, that they're going to deliver a package that is just completely open.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have happened probably after. Yeah.
Which, yeah, it was about, I thought it was only an hour afterwards because I just looked at the time. But then you pointed out that it's been like 30 hours since the dude received his package. But thankfully, that was all handled and dealt with.
Yeah, you'll run into that. Don't let it discourage you. I
You'll
mean,
you'll also run into people, especially when you're new with no reviews or anything, which we ran into. People will try getting a better deal out of you.
oh,
They tried messaging us several times, being like, "Hey, give me this for 50% off. This is the best I can do." We've had several people saying, "I only have $20," and they're trying to buy an $80 camera.
yeah.
Even if you need the money that well, if somebody is that desperate that they're trying to sweeten the deal for the item, they're probably trying to get it from you from cheap so they can turn around and sell it.
Yeah, so that's something to keep in mind as well.
Yep, we haven't since we got to top rated seller and we passed the 170 items sold mark. and we haven't had to deal with any of that, thankfully. We're also sitting at like 70 plus comments, all positive in the last since July. So the hopefully those kind of people, I imagine they're still going to come back, especially with the holidays coming around.
Hmm.
Also, if you want to take a vacation, we will let you know after Thanksgiving how it goes. We already have it set up for automatically on Friday, this Friday, that eBay is going to let them know like we're on vacation for all of Thanksgiving week up until the following Saturday, which I think is the 30th. There's an automatic message that we typed up, so it's going to let them know that their packages won't be delivered until following week. I think it's December 2nd. It won't be shipped out till then. So we'll let you know how it goes. But as far as we understand, any of your stuff that you need to ship out, anything that gets put on hold until after vacation mode is turned off, until after you're supposed to come back the following business day. But I have heard that people ignore those messages and stuff. So people might buy things and they'll be expecting it to be delivered in a day or 2 days, however long to actually ship it out, but you might be gone for a week or two. So I suggest if you do it, make sure you turn on the automatic message to send them right away. So if they want to cancel their order right away, you can get it canceled and you can get it put back up right away.
Yeah, so with that, you just reminded we are going on vacation soon. So we will have a little bit of lull in videos. But the next two videos that I'm hoping for sure we will make a video discussing vacation mode, and we will probably talk about the sales. I imagine we're doing a Black Friday sale,
I don't know.
so we'll probably talk about all of that whenever we come back. But there is one more video that I am wanting to get made and wanting to get put out before we take off. I'm going to try my best, but we have packing and kids and watching my nephew and everything else that we have to do as well. But I have a while ago, I got this whole lot of free clothes. So with us leaving here, I want to make sure that we have
It's still on.
I want to make sure that we have drafts set up so that we can post while we are gone. And I'm going to fill in some of those drafts with my clothes. So I have a very specific way that I do my mass listings for my clothes. Because there are so many, I usually sit down and I do them all together, and I kind of just work and work and work, and I do a whole mass listing process, and I have this whole way that I do it. So I want to get working. I want to put a video out to show that to you guys, so that if you guys run into the same deal or you guys want to work on one day of just mass listing, you guys can see how I do it, how I keep it all organized, hopefully I can put that out. And then yes, the following video will likely be.
And besides the clothes and how she ends up listing, if you want to see how our inventory is all set up, which it's not the best, but we're making it work with the space that we have, how we end up taking our pictures, how we end up actually listing and going about it, or how we end up packaging the stuff, let us know in the comments. Even if you're interested in like the Pokemon side of it, let us know in the comments. All for our Facebook, all of our other social medias and everything, even the Pokemon channel, they'll be in the description, so you can go like and follow and watch that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let us know your thoughts, how you guys are doing, how you're finding your inventory, how well you enjoy it, what your favorite part is. I enjoy packaging everything. I don't know why.
I enjoy the hunt.
That doesn't count. That's just spending money.
I enjoy the hunt, and I don't always enjoy the cleanings. I don't enjoy the cleanings for the boring things like the remotes and the classes. I think it's because we just have so many. I enjoy the cleaning of things that are like, I'm kind of excited to clean that ship you got.
I don't. That's
I
fine.
know it's going to be this whole thing. I have to look up how to do it, but I'm like excited to clean. I already have this vision in my mind sitting at a table, like with my toothpicks and stuff and my little paintbrush.
Yeah, you have fun with that.
Cleaning the other day, I cleaned up a Bop It.
Yeah,
The Bop It Extreme.
You
I went
second
through.
cleaned it after I tried to clean it.
So I don't know. I really enjoy the cleaning process of everything most of the time. I don't enjoy cleaning remotes. I am so done with cleaning remotes. We have so many.
But yes,
remotes.
Let us know which part you enjoy, whether or not you've been doing this for years, months, weeks, you're thinking about starting. Let us know if there's anything that you want us to talk about. I get that we've only been doing this for about 5 months now, but we did a ton of research before, and we've watched other YouTubers. We've dealt with pretty much everything that we needed to. The only thing we haven't dealt with really has been the international shipping. We only recently, in like the last week, actually decided to sign up for it.
I don't know if we signed it. I don't know. I just got
I
it.
put an item up and I said, yes, we'll do the international shipping because I'm like, it was
Oh.
just ship it from where we live across the country. I was like, it's only $5. And as far as I understand, we ship it to Hub, the international hub. And once they receive the package, the returns, any complaints, anything that happens with it is out of our hand. It's pretty much a done and sealed sale, which I don't know. I don't honestly understand how that is. If eBay has their own store, basically, if the item gets returned, they're like, okay, we're going to turn around and sell this again.
Oh, I bet they do. They probably have some sort of.
But that's how, as far as we understand it, we haven't had anything. We had a couple of people ask us
In the past.
that they've asked us for like the Pokemon cards. I said yes, let us know which ones and if you can do this price for a few cards like combined. Never heard anything about it. But
Yeah, so
yeah,
at the moment we do have Pokemon cards up on our eBay store, and only the more expensive ones.
no, the ones we have right now are the ones that are
Charizard sets.
yeah, yeah, those ones because they're a set and I rather sell them as a set, and they're
Oh.
ones that people want to see more with the pictures so they can look at. And the more older vintage ones that they're not exactly in perfect condition, but they might have some little stuff so people can actually see the pictures because TCG Player, you can put your picture up, but you really don't have to. You just have to make sure you select the right grade or condition of it.
So real quick, I know we kind of stopped talking about things that we sold, and the reason why is just because
They're the kind of like the same things usually.
yeah, it's just the lower stuff, which is again weird to say. I'm talking lower. No, actually, yeah, $11, $12, 10, 8, $7. We just
But they were
didn't.
all picked up for $1.
Yeah, well, yeah, they weren't too much. That yeah.
Yes, we'll have pictures of them right here. You're welcome.
Thank you.
But yeah, so hopefully you'll get your video out before we end up going, or at least be able to make it so that you can put it out next week. There's probably not going to be a video next week about things that have sold for this week. So because we're going to be out of town, we're going to be with family and everything, and we're going to have two of our kids with us. So if we find time to make a video, we will. If not, there's going to be 2 weeks worth of stuff that we got to talk about.
Yeah, so that's something that we hopefully plan on doing some shopping while we're up there and
Here's to hoping
vacation.
going out of town, we can find better stuff.
Yeah, so yeah,
You all good?
yeah, I'm good.
All right. Remember, follow us on our stuff. We'll be posting on the other channels and Facebook, Instagram, all of that stuff will be down there. And we hope that you guys have a happy holidays if we don't make another video by then.
Yes, happy holidays.
Bye.
Bye.